Assalamu alaikum dear students. In this lecture we are going to study about case and agreement, a concept of syntax. So previously we were studying about the syntax. We studied many concepts related to universal grammar, then we studied generative grammar, then we studied many aspects of syntax. So now case and agreement is a new aspect of syntax. So the lecture outline is the case is in English grammar. We are going to study about nominative case, and then accusative case, dative case, genitive case, instrumental case, and then what is agreement in English grammar. So let's begin towards the lecture. Nominative case. So case, we have like in English grammar, or we can say in syntax, we have the concept of case. So here I am going to teach you the very basic concepts that are related to case. We have different types of cases. So the first one is the nominative case. The nominative case is an English grammatical case that is used for a noun or pronoun. Here the words are noun or pronoun when it is the subject of a verb. So when a noun or a pronoun is used as a subject of a verb, then that noun or pronoun is termed as the nominative case. The nominative case is the case which is used for a noun or a pronoun which is the subject of a verb. So anything which is the subject of a verb and which is the noun basically and or a pronoun is termed as the nominative case. So for example, he eats cakes. So the pronoun he is the subject of the verb eats. So previously we have studied about the concept of what is the subject, what is the object. So it's very easy for you to point out that what is the subject. So here the subject is he, that is the pronoun, and here he, which is used as the subject of the verb, we termed it as the nominative case in English grammar. They eat cakes, the pronoun they is the subject of the verb eats, they is the nominative case. Other than pronoun, if there would be Aisha eats cakes, so Aisha is the subject, so Aisha would be nominative case. If there were any name, Ali, Aisha, Hassan, any name, so that all names or nouns that are used as the subject in the sentence are termed as the nominative case. The nominative case is also known as the subjective case. So either we say it as the subjective case or we termed it as nominative case. The nominative case is also used for a subject complement. Okay, we have studied before in some lecture that sometimes there is a object in the sentence and sometimes there is a complement in the sentence, and it is very important to make the difference that either it is the object of the verb or either it is the complement. For example, we have studied previously that like Aisha is a teacher. Here teacher is not the object. Here it's not that it's receiving the action or it's receiving something, it's actually completing the sentence, so it's a complement. Again, Aisha is the subject and is a noun, and teacher here is also a subject complement. So here we have two nominative cases. So whenever it comes the subject complement, that is also termed as nominative case. So here teacher is not the object, it's the complement. So both Aisha and teacher are nominative case. The word teacher is acting as a subject complement. So now the accusative case. What is the accusative case? The accusative case is an English grammatical case that is used to show the direct object of a verb. It is also known as the objective case. So it is, we can say it is the opposite of the subjective case. It is termed as the accusative case or as the objective case. A direct object is the what you people are well aware of with the object subject in a sentence. We have also discussed that what is the direct object and what is the indirect object in a sentence. A direct object is the recipient of a verb. The subject of the sentence does something to the direct object, and the direct object is placed after the verb in a sentence. For example, she bought a car. Subject she, here she is the subject, so it's a nominative case. Verb is bought and direct object is a car, so a car is the accusative case in grammar, or we can say the objective case. John hit the ball. John is the subjective case or the nominative case, or we can say the subject of the sentence. Hit is the verb and the ball is the direct object, or we can say the accusative case or the objective case. Now comes the dative case. The dative case is the case that shows the indirect object of a verb. So the accusative case is associated with the direct object of the verb, and the dative case is associated with the indirect object of a verb. The indirect object of a verb is the recipient of the direct object. The direct object is the recipient of a verb, whereas the indirect object is the recipient of the direct object. So let's take an example. We gave a bone to our dog. We is the subject, is the nominative case. Gave is a verb. A bone is the direct object, or we can say the accusative case, to our dog. So our dog is the indirect object, indirect recipient of the direct object, that is termed as the dative case. So a bone, we gave what, that is the direct object. We gave what? A bone. A bone is given to whom? Who is the receiver of the bone? That is the dog. So the dog is the indirect object, is the recipient of the direct object. So here the indirect object is English grammar. In English grammar is termed as the dative case. So up till now we have studied three cases: the nominative case, which is the subject of the sentence, the accusative case, which is the direct object of the sentence, and we have studied the dative case, which is the indirect object of the sentence. So now the genitive case. The genitive case is a grammatical case for nouns and pronouns. It is mostly commonly used for showing possession, also known as possessive case. So we have sometimes we in sentences we show the possession, that the ownership of something, like Aisha's car or Madiha's dress. So we show the possession by addition of an apostrophe s. That possession is basically the genitive case. I borrowed Sam's calculator. So Sam's, here the word Sam's, the noun Sam's here is the noun in genitive case, and calculator is the noun receiving the possession. That to whose calculator is that? It's the Sam's calculator. Our new house is blue. Our new house. So our is showing the possession, that it is our house. So our is the pronoun in genitive case. House is the noun receiving the possession. Possession, that it's receiving the possession, that it's okay, it's our house, our new house. And our is the sign of possession, so it's the genitive case in English grammar. The instrumental case. So what is the instrumental case? In the English grammar, an instrumental noun is the one that is used to accomplish something as the instrument of the action. So an instrumental is something by which something is done. Any instrument, like I wrote a letter to Aisha with a pen. So here pen is an instrument with the help of which the action of writing has been done. Let's take another example. Alfred killed a snake with a sword. So Alfred killed a snake with which thing, which instrument? That is the sword. So here sword is an instrumental case. That is the instrument which is used to do the action. Or if, let's take an example, if I say that I made a phone call to my sister from my iPhone. So here iPhone is the instrument with the help of which the action of making the phone call has been done. So that is the instrumental case. So these are the some cases in the English grammar that you have studied. The subjective or the nominative case, the accusative or the objective case, the dative case, the genitive case, or we have studied the instrumental case. So now moving towards the concept of agreement. What is agreement in English grammar? In grammar, agreement is the correspondence of a word with its subject in person and number, and of a pronoun with its antecedent in person, number, and gender. Another term for grammatical agreement is concord. So what is agreement? So you might have studied at intermediate level or bachelor level, that is noun verb agreement, that a verb should have agreement with its subject in number, in gender, in person. So what are these agreement? The basic rule is singular subjects must have singular verbs, plural subjects take plural verbs. Agreement in grammar means that the subject and verb must be alike in number. Like, it's not like that we have a plural subject and we write the singular verb. No, the subject and verb must be in accordance with each other. Thus, if the subject is singular, then the verb we write must be singular, and if the subject is plural, then the verb we write must be plural. A singular subject requires a singular verb, and the plural subject requires a plural verb. So let's take an example. The first and most important rule in subject-verb agreement is that the verb must agree with the intended number of the subject. To accomplish that rule, you must follow two tasks: identify the real subject, determine whether the subject is singular or plural. So for this type of agreement, to make sure that the agreement is correct in grammatically, first you have to identify the subject, that where is the subject in the sentence, and then you need to identify that the subject is singular or plural. Then according to that subject you have to write the verb. The first rule is the subject and verb must agree in number. That is, singular subject takes singular verb, plural subjects takes plural verb. For example, Mr. Bhutan is the jolliest man I know. So Mr. Bhutan is the subject. So we know it's Mr. Bhutan is in one number, is singular person. So we cannot write that Mr. Bhutan are the jolliest man I know. So is used for the singularity. So if the subject is singular, then the verb must be singular in order to get the agreement grammatically correct. So we wrote Mr. Bhutan is the jolliest man I know. The children sing with pride and confidence. Here the children are, we know the children is our subject, and the children is plural form of child. So we didn't add s or es with the verb. We add the plural verb sing with the children. Wins there are two options available. Is and are the best news writer in his grade. So we know that wins is the subject, and he is singular. So wins is the best news writer. The players showing the plurality of the subject. So we are going to add are. The players are having a hard time choosing a team. The second rule is that a compound subject joined by and is generally plural and requires a plural verb. That is, a compound subject which is joined by and requires a plural verb always. Let's take an example. San Antonio Spurs and New Jersey are our favorite basketball teams. So we can take another example, like Aisha and Ali are our favorite actors, Bollywood celebrities. So when two subjects are connected by a conjunction and, we always write the plural verb. Richmond and Russell often argue with each other. Okay? If two parts of a compound subject refer to a single person or thing or form a single unit, the compound subject is considered singular. So previously we have studied the rule that if the compound subject is connected by and, we take it as a plural, and now we are saying that if the compound subject is referring to a single entity, to a single thing or person or a concept, then we take it as a singular. Let's take an example. The manager and owner of the company is present in the meeting. So the manager and owner of the company. So the company, the manager and owner are two people, compound subjects. They're joined by and, but they're referring to the same company. They're referring to one company. The manager and owner of the company is present in the meeting. Here we are not supposed to write the manager and owner of the company are present in the meeting, because the manager and owner are referring to one thing, to one concept, that is the company. Bread and butter is our daily food. So bread and butter belongs to one entity, that is the breakfast. So we take it as a singular. The famous singer and composer has arrived at the concert venue. So singer and composer are two compound subjects referring to one group of singing. So we take it as a singular subject. The third rule is the singular subjects joined by or nor take a singular verb. When a singular subject and a plural subject are joined by either or neither nor, the verb agrees with the nearer subject. So if we have two or more subjects, then if they are joined by either or neither, the verb agrees with the nearer subject. How? Let's take an example. Either my father or my brothers. So before verb, the nearest subject is in the plural form. So we are going to add the plural verb. Brothers is plural, so the nearer subject to verb is brothers, so we add are going to meet the buyer. Either my brothers or my father is going to meet the buyer. So here in the second sentence, my father is the nearer subject to the verb and it's a singular, so we take the singular verb. Neither Naomi nor Chris was hurt in the accident. Neither Chris nor Naomi was hurt in the accident. Either my mother or my father is going to pick me up from school. Neither Megan nor my sisters. Now, the nearer subject to the verb is sisters. Sisters is plural, so we took the plural verb were listening to my story. The fourth rule is the collective nouns take a singular or a plural verb depending on whether the group is thought of as a whole or as individuals. So we have collective nouns like team, army, police. So these type of nouns are the collective nouns. So we take the collective nouns as a singular or plural depending on whether the collective noun is referring to a whole entity or it is referring to the members of that entity. When regarding as a unit or a whole, a collective noun is singular. When the collective noun is regarded as a single whole unit, then we take it as a singular, and then the verb which is added after the collective nouns would be singular. The team is going to Mindanao to administer a support seminar. So the team is taken as a whole unit, so we take it as a singular. When regarded as individuals, a collective noun is plural. The members of the class are working hard on their projects. Here we are talking about the individuals. We didn't write as the class is working hard on their project. Instead, we wrote the members of the class. We talk about the individual, so we took add the subject as plural and we add the verb as plural as well. So the members of the class are working hard on their projects. So this is all about today's lecture. We studied about the case and agreement concept in the English grammar. So these are some references. From these references you can take further guide as well in detail. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.